All right, changing gears, we're going to talk about education in the digital age and how we adapt our classrooms to new technologies. Education strategist Dwayne Matthews is here with some tips for students and for parents. Welcome back and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much and Happy New Year to you as well, Anna.
We've had some really interesting conversations about the future and about students, how they're learning now compared to the jobs they're going to need in the future. You talk about preparing students for 2030, not for 2020. What do you mean?
So, if you can think back, school is really based on cutting-edge 600-year-old technology called the printed book. And we organized that technology into a strategy called school, and it really put a lot of emphasis on memory. Today, we have about 6 different technologies converging with that level of impact, and so it really changes the premise of school. We really have to focus more on learning how to learn and learning how to use the technology to get us to the outcomes that we want.
I'm glad you're here to explain that, because school, my kids are 12 now, and I find it so different how they're learning and what they're learning. In the past, parents kind of had to just make sure that, kids were dressed right for school and for recess, and that they had their books with them in their bag. Now we have to be up to date on the latest technology, the apps that are available. It's a lot of homework for us as parents, but you say it's worth it.
Yes, it's definitely worth it. Ignoring digital, it would be like the equivalent of ignoring books of yesterday. Digital technology is extremely empowering. It can really liberate a kid's learning, but there are lots of really, really serious concerns and challenges, and so parents really need to be up to date on all those things to help guide a child through that process.
And sometimes it's easier for us to just go back to what we knew, but we really have to embrace what's the future. You say there are 6 technologies that are going to have an impact. These are the ones that we focus on. Break those down for us.
So one of the big technologies that I think will have an impact on education is artificial intelligence, and this will really give the opportunity to bridge the gap between different levels of learning. Then mixed reality and virtual reality, or some people call it XR, extended reality. I'm extremely excited about these because what this does, it allows you to capture your imagination and store it somewhere and even put it in layers around the world, which really changes the dynamics of learning because you can actually walk with your imagination outside of yourself. On top of that, we also have robotics. And so, there are lots of different ways to apply robotics. I know one of the projects that we're working on is using robotics to engage with students, to teach them how to read and to really gauge where they are in reading. So that is pretty exciting. And then we also have voice technology. 50% of all searches will be done by voice by the end of 2020.
Wow.
And that's a profound change. And so having voice technology and its interaction with the classroom is important.
We're going to continue on this topic next week in our Education Focus 2020 series. We're going to look at personalized education trends. Dwayne, thanks so much for being here, getting us off to the right start.
Thank you very much for having me, Emery.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.